Hello guys, I'm SilverKoopa888. Today I'm taking a look at my top 10 favorite object shows. If you don't know who I am, I make object show camps and I am a fan of the community. I enjoyed a wide variety of object shows. I decided I'd like to share my personal take on my favorites with the community. So let's begin. I hope you all can enjoy this. Number 10 is Last Object Standing made by BeAwesomeOne. Last Object Standing is a more mature take on the object show formula, which puts more vulgar language in it than other object shows would. It's not a bad thing at all. I think it makes it more unique, as most object shows are kid-friendly. Though that can be good, sometimes it'll be a tad overdone. I enjoy the characters as they all have pretty distinct personalities, and watching them collide are pretty funny. The style of this show is like a PowerPoint show, but it's animated in Flash and that's pretty original on its own. The show itself is funny and the action parts are well made. There's only 10 due to the fact that there are only 2 well-made episodes. There's a lot of potential to become even better than it already is. Number 9 would be Object Universe, made by Plainsville, aka Teen Champion. This show is a humorous show, which I really enjoy. The episodes of this show are all well made and look pretty good. The characters in this show have generally distinct personalities. For example, Kite has exaggerated kindness, which, with one really mean action, triggers others. Windows hates Kite and wants Kite to get eliminated, but hasn't been able to. I love the challenges in this show, which are pretty unique. In episode 4, there's the challenge, which was poking fun of the concept of object shows. This is clever and made great. The show sadly didn't get completed and is still at episode 5. But we can still enjoy the episodes published on the channel. Number 8 would be Challenge to Win by 100DCX. The episodes of this show were great. They had pretty good visuals and challenges. They were created well and had some funny jokes. The show is near completion and has an upcoming finale. The characters were pretty well made and I liked them. A major flaw with the series was definitely the first half. The first part of it was badly made. It skyrocketed from its bad episodes into something genuinely great. Number 7 would be Object Lockdown by the Wuggolo. There are only 3 episodes of this show so far, but like a Last Object Standing, this show has shown to be really good. It's more of a comedy-oriented show, but it manages to be really good. The visuals are great, and the idea of the Danger Team is as well. The characters are mostly funny, but still need some time to develop. As more episodes come along, the show improves. There hasn't been a bad episode yet, but some of the characters do need more time in the spotlight. Number 6 was Object Show 87 by Plainsville. You might ask, why is this joke object show on the list? Well, I don't blame you, but it's more along the lines of clever commentary on object shows. Even as a joke, it has some of the best humor I've seen in object shows for a long time. Sometimes if you listen hard, it's some of the jokes in the show. You hear Niall or Sam laughing at it. The characters are all hilariously stupid and that is good. Yes, Vita is easily angered and is trigger happy with elimination. Team Star is funny with him saying Alex and idiot a lot. Six Figure is a general rude character, but formatted in the best way possible. Ben is just non-existent. Midget is a victim of teasing, and that on its own is funny, because all the jokes revolving him are pretty funny. There's a lot of other great characters with generic personalities, and I believe that's great, because they're all exaggerated to the point where it's just so stupid that you have to laugh. Number 5 is Object Survival Island, made by XX Bombs Away XX. This is a PowerPoint show. Those shows don't get the best reputation, but this one is the best one I've seen in a long time. This is some of the better visuals, and that's including the Flash animated shows as well. The dialogue between characters seems like it'd fit in an actual reality show, and its plot is one of the best I've seen. It does have one major flaw, being the first 12 episodes. If those episodes were as good as the newer ones, it would be number 3 or 2. Thankfully, the quality of the recent episodes are able to make up for the early episodes. Object Overload is number 4. It was created by XanyLeaves. If anyone is wondering, I'm including episode 1 of the reboot. Well anyways, the show is as beautiful as the last 3 episodes. The quality is stunning. The challenges are great as well, and it's great. There are a ton of characters in this show, which is a bad thing at times. The problem would be that some characters get little screen time in development, and some of them don't have solid personalities. Take the 4 people cut out of the reboot, for example. Ping Pong Ball was just a normal happy-go-lucky type of guy. Disc was just a pessimistic, nickel-type character. Curly was just there for Marble-like and pretty bland as well. And Locky is just a crazy optimistic character, like Izzy from Total Drama. Even with this flaw, Object Overload is a great show, and most likely, it'll stay that way. Number 3 is Battle for Dream Island, made by Cary and Micheal Huang. The original show to start it all is what this is known as. Though it was the original, it wasn't perfect. The challenges and characters were by default originals, but the personalities weren't all the best. For example, the finalists were mostly bland characters. Leafy helped others and got taken advantage of, and Fire didn't do anything remarkable either. Despite this, the original, I believe, was a good show, and I enjoyed this. The visuals were well made, and I enjoyed the challenges. It's simplistic but enjoyable. It's pretty funny as well, and I always enjoyed the episodes. Number 2 would be Inanimate Insanity 2, created by Adam Katz. Though most of the people here would disagree and say that this is the best, I have a better one in mind. The visuals are stunning in this show, and the characters are great. Just take a look at any episode and your eyes will be in for a treat. This is one of the best made, and you can see why. These songs in episodes 7 and 9 sound great and are popular with the community for a great reason. They are well made and have good beats. I like when Taco and Microphone make a deal concerning helping with competition. These use my favorites, and these jokes are some of the worst, yet the best made because they are terrible. This is a memorable show, which is really well made. Before we take a look at number 1, let's look at some of the honorable mentions. Next Top Thingy, made by Retro Aesthetics 2016. For what there was, I laughed and really enjoyed it. It looked well and was well made. For All the Objects by Engo 6. It started strong, but it ended up a tad rushed near the end, which hit it hard. Object Universe by Teen Champion. It was one of the originals, but it was really rocky throughout. It still was a solid show that I enjoyed. Battle for Dream Island again. It was really bumpy, but it had better characters than the original. As my favorite character of all shows, Yellowface. Note, if you join a camp of mine, you should remember this. Another generic object show by Mr. Leafy The Leafeon2. A really good comedy show. It just didn't look as good as the others, and it's an underdog. It doesn't have very many views. Object Mayhem, made by UltraToons. This is an enjoyable show, but it was pretty rocky. Object Redundancy by YearsAnimations. This was enjoyable, but the mature jokes got annoying. Object Havoc by InterstellarLizard. It was great, but there were only 2 episodes before it got cancelled. Okay, now how about we move into what I think is the best of the best. The top is The Object Show Movie, made by PotatoOfAwesome. Now you might think, yeah, this is good, but how does it beat Inanimate Insanity 2? I think that this movie's visuals are great, and it's well animated. There are 11 main characters, being all well made and defined. What's funny is that I had a role in this film. In part 1, I was the pilot of the ship. The soundtrack for this works really well and sounds good. The plot of the movie is great, and it is, my opinion, the most mature object-related show of all time. I won't spoil you on anything if you haven't seen it, but people literally die. Die for good. Sure, there's cussing, but it isn't used in the same way as Object Redundancy, The Last Object Standing, as a majority of them are used in places where it works best. All the characters seem to have their own stories, but I won't spoil anything as I said earlier. The humor of the show is very funny, and the jokes all usually work. When I watch either part, even after 10 clicks, I still laugh my lungs out. That's why The Object Show Movie is my favorite object show of all time. So that was my opinion on my favorite shows. If you would like to share your opinion, and if I missed a show that you think I should have added, then send your opinion. I'd also like your opinions on some of the worst object shows out there. This is Silver, and I'm headed out. If you would like to support the channel, then you could leave a like or a comment telling me what I should improve on. Thank you for tuning in, to those who have made it this far.